Hi, this is Professor Joseph. Welcome to Mount Sacs Philosophy 20A. This class is Introduction to Ancient Philosophy, Pre-Socratic to the Medieval Period, and we're in the winter 2022 6-week class. This intro video will work for the for any winter or any summer class. They're all 6-week classes. You just have to take out the dates and then in your mind know that, you know, the dates that you're in. But so it's a 6-week class. And this intro video is as if you were in my class in person for the first day, and I'm just walking you through what I expect of you in this course. So in that sense, it's just a 6-week format, and it works for the summer or the winter, no matter what semester you're in. So let's just start. My first thing is to, my job is to convince you to, my job is to inform you of what is expected in this class so that by the end of the video, you'll know whether you want to stay in the class or drop it. And that's just straight up letting you know what you have to do. If you're super busy, if you're taking a lot of courses, you'll know, hey, this isn't the one for me, or this is. With that being said, here we go. So the very first thing you want to do, the very first day in class, and I tell you right here, by January 4th, Tuesday, go to the module page and click to the left of this screen. So you got to go to the modules page. And the first thing you do, just being introduced to my class, is the syllabus quiz and the welcome getting to know you. The syllabus quiz is 10 questions. And basically what you have to do to answer that, and I think you can take it 3 times, is on this very first page in Canvas, as you just scroll down, that is the syllabus, that whole thing right there. And all the way at the bottom, course calendar, I tell you what's expected, you know, all your assignments and stuff like that and your important dates. If you read through that, then you go back up to the modules, you should be able to take the syllabus quiz. It's pretty straightforward. And then the welcome getting to know you. So basically this one, let me edit this real quick while we're here. The syllabus quiz and the getting to know you are due by Tuesday night. So the very first, couple days of this course, I'm going to expect to see these completed. Now, if they're not completed, I'm going to drop you from the class due to non-attendance. Okay. So this is how I know you're actually showing up and you're in the class, you're engaged, is you've done these 2 assignments. Both of them together take a maximum of a half an hour. So a syllabus quiz pretty quick. And then this one, getting to know you, is like an icebreaker. Why are you taking this class? What's your major? How many years you've been at Mount Sac? Real easy. And here's an important one. Post a picture and show us the most perfect scenario for you to relax in. You don't have to take a picture of yourself unless you want to. I've done that. I've included a video of myself skating or whatever. But you have to post a picture. You can't say, I don't know how to post a picture, I'll take off points. So this is another way of testing your critical thinking skills. So you post a picture. Then you have to reply to at least one other student. So it's real easy. This is just getting to know you, discussion forum. But these 2 are real easy to complete. And that's it. And then after that, you're locked into the class and you're ready to go. So this is the basics. We're in section 30450 online, but again, this will work for any class that you're in as far as ancient philosophy 6-week course in the summer or the winter. It won't work for the 8-week courses in the fall. So anyways, once again, my name is Joseph Komrosky. Please email me for any questions at jkomrosky@mountsac.edu. Don't email me in the Canvas inbox. In other words, don't use this messaging system in the inbox unless you don't mind a whole day of delay. The reason is I cannot respond to you using my phone in Canvas, but I can respond to you using my phone in an email. So I can get back to you pretty quickly. That being said, the wise students will email me through my Mount Sac email. The other students who don't listen to that and email me through Canvas, you're going to get a delay. Virtual office hours, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from 12 to 1. I'm available to check emails and respond. If you want to schedule a Zoom meeting with me, let me know. We'll schedule one if you want to go over something. Otherwise, This is an asynchronous course. We do not have mandatory Zoom meetings, none of that. Everything is online. I have deadlines for your assignments. You do the reading, you take the quizzes, the discussion forums, your papers, done. There's no attendance on Zoom meetings. But again, if you want to schedule a Zoom meeting with me during my office hours, let me know. If you can't make it during my office hours during these times, let me know. Maybe I can schedule one outside of those times. If you need help with Canvas, call this number. There's a nice picture of Socrates on his deathbed, and we'll figure out why he's there and why he's famous for being there. But yeah, this class, we're going to be looking at ancient philosophy and the philosophers, and why they're important. Like, why are we studying about these people, 2,000, 2,500 years later? What arguments did they have about reality, and why were they important, and why do some of them still apply to you today? Just because you think they're outdated doesn't mean that they're not very present in your life. And that's the fun part of this class, is many of you don't know about the ancient Greeks, and some of what they said is just mind-blowing. So there you go. Some of the questions we'll be going over is, what is truth, and is pursuing the truth worth it? What benefit is there to asking critical questions about reality? What's the Socratic method? According to the Greeks, how can one live the good life? What is the good life? What significance does ancient and medieval philosophy have on my life now? How do you know that you know something versus you just believe it? What's the difference between belief and knowledge? This is fascinating. So yeah, right here. What's the difference between knowledge and belief and skepticism? What is virtue, and how do you obtain this to make your life better? What is reality? And does the existence of God play a part in how I see reality? Does God exist? I really get into this in my intro to philosophy class, but you'll still get exposed to it here about the existence of God, whether there's good arguments for the existence of God or not. And if God does exist, how does that play a role in your life? What am I made of as a human person? What kind of stuff am I? Am I physical stuff, immaterial stuff, both? What am I made of? We will be pursuing these questions and many more through the eyes of the ancient medieval philosopher. So I think that a lot of these questions pretty much have hooked many of you at this point, because they're fascinating. Why? Because we are rational creatures, according to Aristotle. We are set apart from the animal kingdom because we can not only think, and we can not only communicate about our thoughts, but we can think about our thoughts. Interesting. And when we are rational creatures, we desire the truth. And so it actually does matter. There you go. So if you're new to online education, you can look at some of these videos. If not, don't even worry about them. Required text. So pay attention. This is very important. This is the exact text that we use for the class, and the exact edition, 8th edition, 2019. Great conversation. I even give you a picture of it. Okay. When some of you email me, can I use this edition? I'm not going to respond to you. You tell me if you can use it. You look at the readings that I assign to you, and then you tell me, because I'm not going to go look at some other books, because quite simply, I'm telling you to get this very specific book. So what I do is Mount Sac, if you want to purchase it, you can click there, or Red Shelf or Vital Source, you can rent it. They have pretty good deals. In fact, let's click on Red Shelf. Let's see what they got going on. For the semester, $52 to rent it. There you go. These are pretty much instant. If some of you say, hi, professor, I don't get the book for the next week, I am simply going to say, no problem. You already have it in the library, my book. So there is no excuse that you don't have the book and that you can't start the course and that you want me to extend your assignments. I won't do it. You can simply go to the library and get my book for free. In fact, the library has PDF scanners where you can take my book and literally photocopy entire chapters. Takes you 5 minutes. You got a whole chapter to read. So do that. The library is open on Monday. If you don't, and your book is super delayed and you don't want to go to the library, I highly suggest that you consider dropping the course, because right there in the first week, you're going to miss multiple assignments, and I'm not going to extend them. So I've been teaching for many years, and I've come to the realization that if you're a responsible student, you already have the book before the class starts. You don't just get the book on the first day of class. That's not the way this works. You're a college student. You log on to the Mount Sac bookstore, you find out what books the professor wants, and you get them ahead of time. I say all this because I've been a student for 25 years. I have multiple degrees. I just graduated with my PhD this May 2021. But before that, I started, when I got out of the military, I started at Mount Sac. That was my first college. I was there for 5 years. I got an AA degree there in liberal arts and an AS degree in radiologic technology. I became an X-ray tech there. So I went to Mount Sac for 5 years, took all kinds of courses. And every single semester before the class started, I already had the books. So the first day of class, I was well prepared. So anyways, that's just my wisdom on being a student for that long. And there you go. You have multiple renting options. You can get my book in the library. Do not buy the 7th or any earlier edition. They will not work for this class. Everybody got that? Okay. So that's the book. The second book, Required Text. It's free. I give it to you. Click here. You have the PDF of the book. The Philosopher's Toolkit. So basically, in this class, let me see. Let me go back to home. You have 15 chapters. Okay. And in those 15 chapters, you're going to be doing various readings from different philosophers. Well, each week when you have a discussion forum, you're going to take some philosophical tool, and I'll show you. So let me backtrack a little bit. This is your book. If you get the PDF or if you get the hard copy, me personally, I have hard copy books of every class I've ever been to. I actually like building a library, which is kind of nuts, but I have all my books from Mount Sac since 1994. Yep, that's a long time ago. I have all my books from Mount Sac and Loma Linda and Biola and Claremont Graduate University. I have all my books from all my classes. It's just, I don't know. I'm a collector. But in these in these chapters, for example, chapter 1, before philosophy, myth in Hesiod and Homer. We're going to look at the Iliad and the Odyssey. Chapter 2, before Socrates. Chapter 3, we're looking at philosophers in India. Chapter 4, the Sophists. Chapter 5, we're looking at philosophers in China. Chapter 6, Socrates. 7, Socrates again. 8, Plato. 9, Aristotle. So you'll start seeing a bunch of name dropping with these philosophers, right? You'll do your readings, and then each week you will click on this philosophical toolkit book that you have for free. You will pick one tool, whatever one, and there's a lot of them in here that you don't know about. Pick one, learn about it. For example, let's look at circularity. I think when you go here, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, and it tells you about circularity, right? And each one of these tools is a philosophical tool. The more you know, the more you can analyze and critically think with these philosophers you're engaging with, okay? So what I want you to do is pick a tool, and then you're going to apply it to your discussion forum every week. Now, I will take off points if I don't see the page number of the tool that you're getting from this book. For example, you say I chose circularity 3.6, and it comes from page 84. That's my tool. And the reason I do this is some of you are Googling everything from the internet. It's not going to work in this class. I specifically designed my class to use just these 2 books and these 2 books alone. You do not need anything on the internet. And if I catch you trying to Google everything without actually getting my book or even looking at this book, you're going to lose points every single week. So don't do it. Just be smart. This is a free book. I give it to you. And then you have Melkert's book on ancient philosophy that you have to, get on your own. The Great Conversation is the name of the book. So why do we call this The Great Conversation, or why is that the name of the book? Because many philosophers from the ancient all the way to now have participated in a great conversation of philosophical ideas. And you're going to be looking at that conversation. The conversation can deal with logic, knowledge, reality, art, critical thinking, the soul, mind, science. You can throw out all kinds of concepts. And I promise you, this started all the way back in the ancient period where they start thinking about these concepts and analyzing them and asking these questions. So anyways, that's the name for the title. And what I want you to do every week is to participate in this great conversation in your discussion forum. And I want you to tell me what you think about what the authors are saying. I don't want to know just what the authors are saying. I want to know what you think about what they're saying. For some of you, that's going to be really hard, but that's the beginning of philosophical training, is that you are going to have to step in the ring with these philosophers and tell me, do you agree? Do you disagree? If you agree, why? If you disagree, why? If you disagree, could there be some other evidence or scientific evidence or truth or whatever that if it were applied, that it would make much more sense and their theories are outdated? Or, man, this philosopher has something really stunning. I believe it applies now. And on top of that, I believe we have research to help them even more than they have been helped. See, all of this is a pretend conversation that you're going to be having with me and your other peers in the class weekly. The reason we do this is so that you're eventually prepared for, scroll all the way down, your final exam, which is just a final paper. So in other words, your final exam is your final paper. You're going to be writing a final paper, 5 to 7 pages long. And what I'm doing every week is I'm training you on how to write that paper. Every week, you're going to be telling me whether you agree, disagree with the philosopher. And by the time you get to the final paper, you're so used to doing this, you just can start writing. Okay. So that's my goal, is training you every week. So now let's get into reviewing the syllabus. Let me scroll down. So you got your 2 books. One's free. There's no excuse of why you can't have one of them because I give it to you. And then the other one, you can access it in the library or just go on Red Shelf or Vital Source, get it right away. Okay. So homework, weekly quizzes, 40% of your grade. You're going to get 1 quiz per chapter. There's 15 chapters. There's 15 quizzes. Okay. You're able to take the quiz 3 times, and then I take the best score out of those 3 attempts. If you ace it on the first attempt, you don't have to take it again. There's a pool. Each chapter has a pool of like 20 to 30 questions. So each time you take the quiz, you might get different questions. You might get some of the same. They're randomly selected, okay? This prevents cheating. All these questions can be answered straight from the text. Again, you try to Google some of this, you don't find the answers and you beat your head against the wall. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't Google it. Just look in the book, make your life easier, become an excellent student, read the chapters, done deal, okay? So 40% of your grade. Why do I do that? Well, the quizzes are not that hard if you do your reading, and I give you 3 attempts. So I weight your grade significantly in that area so that if you bomb one of your other assignments, you're still decent in the class. Weekly discussion, 30% of your grade. I think there's 5 of those. First paper, you're going to write a mini paper, 10% of your grade. Final paper, 20% of your grade. So let's say you do very well on everything but your final paper and you bomb the final paper. Well, you still got an 80% or a B in the class. So again, these are the weights. Everything is self-graded in Canvas as far as your quizzes. They're automatically graded. I grade your discussion forums. I grade your papers. This is a scale that I use for extra credit. At the end of the semester, I allow 1 out of 4 possible extra credit options. You can work on these through the whole semester, but most people turn it in last minute, but I give you that. So what I do, my extra credit, whatever your grade is in the class, let's say it's a C. If you do a full extra credit, I bump you 2 notches up on this scale. So you'll go to 1, 2, you'll go to a B minus, which is on the Mount Sack scale, a B. So I look at your grade here. I find out if you've done extra credit or not. I bump you up, and then that's your final grade, straight A, B, C, D, F. If you're interested in extra credit, click here. I have a whole video explaining how to do it. But once again, I bump your grade up 2 notches on this first scale, or to make it simple, 7%. Whatever you have on your final grade and you do a full extra credit, I bump your final score 7%. It's pretty significant. For example, if you got a 73 and you did a full extra credit, 7 points, you got an 80, you got a B. If you got an 83 or an 84 or whatever, I add 7%, you got an A. So there you go. And I have different options. One is you can do the hipster challenge, which is watching 2 movies and then you write 2 pages per each movie. Or I have the scholar challenge. You read a book that I have in the library, 189 pages. If you don't have it in the library, you order on your own. It's a fast read. It'll take you maximum of 1 day, maybe 4 or 5 hours, but it's really awesome. It's as if Socrates was alive in a modern day college campus, questioning everybody, the students, the professors, everything. You'd love it. And there's the form that you fill out for that. The social challenge. If you want to go to a live debate on campus or anywhere else, I have to approve of it. You have to send me the information, fill out the form, done. Then there's the last one, the debater challenge. You pick 2 debates from this website. You fill out a form for each one, full extra credit. So once again, you have the hipster challenge, scholar challenge, social challenge, debater challenge. And if you're interested, click on this video. Student learning outcomes, there's your 4 of them and what I expect of you by the time the class is over. For example, the first one, students will be able to analyze the major philosophers from ancient times to the medieval period. And you can read these. Of course, measurable objectives, you can read those. Add and drop deadlines, very important. January 4th, this is literally the 2nd day of class on Tuesday. If you do not complete the syllabus quiz and the getting to know you, you're dropped from my class. That's it. There are some people that take these classes, they never log on to Canvas. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they drop out of school, but I drop you. So that's it. Complete those 2 assignments and you're in. Look at the rest of the important deadlines. Click the link if you want to go to the Mount SAC website and see them. Incomplete grade. Yeah, you can read this. Late work. I will not accept late work. In other words, I will accept assignments early, but not late. If you're going out of town, let me know in advance. And again, this is a 6-week class. This is not a whole semester, not even 8 weeks. It's 6. It's very accelerated. So if you've got a lot going on in your personal life and jobs and all this stuff, fine, don't take the course. Only take college when you can handle it. Again, and I say this to encourage you, I've been a student for 25 years. I've been through ups and downs where I was broke, financially desperate, renting rooms, unable to, concentrate, got into an auto accident. There's just so many variables in life. There was a couple times where I took semesters off. I'm like, just too much going on. Or I drop 1 class just so I can focus on the other 4. Whatever life circumstances you got, you want to be responsible as a student. You only take the class if you know you can handle the workload, okay? Because you don't want a D on your GPA. That's a GPA killer. If you get an F, you can actually retake the class. That's fine. But a D, that's the kiss of death. That stays on your Mount SAC record. It drops your GPA. And I believe if you get a D, by the way, it passes at Mount SAC, but it will not transfer out to a college. So it's almost like a wasted class. Okay, so just be careful. And what I say is I will extend 1 quiz, not more than 3 days from the assignment date, and I'll extend 1 discussion forum, not 3 days from the original date. I'm going to allow you once on each one of these, and that's it. Other than that, on your homework, I forgot to mention this up here. Your 2 right here, I will drop the 2 lowest scores of your quizzes. There's 15 quizzes. I drop the 2 lowest. Canvas automatically does it. So whether you skip them, get a 0, it doesn't matter. They're dropped, okay? So let's say your first week, you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to skip the first 2 assignments and let them drop. Awesome. I give you that grace, but use those 2 dropped very wisely. Because if you email me and say, Professor, I can't believe I forgot to complete all the quizzes last week. Really? Don't email me like that. I know you didn't forget. You don't just absolutely magically forget that you forgot a whole week of school. It doesn't work that way. And I say this because I've been teaching for a long time now. I get all kinds of emails, but I will extend one of them. Okay. So I'll let you, if you didn't take it, I'll let you take it. But those are the parameters. Otherwise, just count 2 of your lowest dropped. Okay. Announcements. It's your responsibility to check your announcements on a weekly basis, even daily. I will email the class, and sometimes you might skip an assignment. You might have this instead. Make sure you pay attention. And I think you can adjust your Canvas settings to where my announcements will show up in your inbox. Okay. Online class attendance. In the first week, if you pass those syllabus and forum assignments, I'm just going to consider you in. But if I see that you skip like a whole week or 2, I'm going to drop you from the class. And if somehow I don't drop you from the class, you're just going to get an F. You're going to hang out in my class, but you're going to automatically get one. So I say that because it's your responsibility to drop yourself from the class. Okay. But you don't have to check in. I have no online attendance check-in. The only check-in I have is that first 2 assignments that you have to do, the syllabus quiz and the getting to know you. That's it. Outside of that, you earn your grade in this class. So you're the enforcer of your grade. I'm just the diplomat that gives you your grade, but you're the one that earns your own points. Okay. Cheating and plagiarism, don't do it. If you copy somebody else's assignment, I'll know it because Mount SAC has plagiarism software. It will literally tell me exactly where you got your stuff from the internet and exactly what website. I catch people every semester plagiarizing. Don't do it or you will get a 0 for the assignment. And then I will warn you. The purpose and the reason I stress is as a student, you want to be an excellent student. If you want to cheat just to get by with grades, just to get a degree, that's your prerogative, but it's not becoming of you to do that. It's not excellence at all. So in the back of your mind, and we're going to get into this when you get into that movie, The Emperor's Club, especially with Plato and Socrates, what happens when you cheat, it becomes part of your character. It becomes habituated in you. And that right there will be a problem morally. And we'll see about this later in the chapters. So I stress, it's not becoming of you to cheat and plagiarize. You want to avoid doing this. And again, this has everything to do with that movie, The Emperor's Club. Oh, it's an awesome movie. I can't wait for all of you to watch it because that's philosophy directly applied to your life morally. Like, what is the good life? You're going to find out in that movie. So don't cheat, don't plagiarize. Classroom behavior, do whatever you want on your own time. We're not in a classroom at Mount SAC. You're adults, you're responsible for your own behavior. Disability accommodations, if you have one, let me know. I'm a disabled veteran. I also have hearing problems. So I know what that's like. So I work with people easily. The Writing Center, if you struggle with writing, if English is a second language to you, no problem. You have 2 writing assignments for me. Don't freak out. Take your writing assignment, go right into the Writing Center or schedule a Zoom appointment with them online, show them my assignment. They will literally help you write your paper. That's what they do. That's what they're paid to do. And they love it. And they will help you for free. And here's the bonus. If English is a second language for you and you struggle with general grammar, if you can show me proof that you went to the Writing Center and they helped you with grammar in my paper, I will not take off a single point with grammar. There will be 0 points taken off for that. So like I said, if you struggle with English, go to the Writing Center. I see that you've been there and you show me proof. So basically submit the page that shows me that you went there with your assignment. Boom. I take off. I don't even look at your grammar. And that shows me that you had the motivational attitude to go down there for help. And let's say English isn't your second language and you just suck at writing papers and you want to get better. What do you think? I magically was good at writing papers? I hated it. I was a student for 25 years. I've used the Writing Center so many times and they blew me away. And here's the problem about my experience. I didn't start using the Writing Center till like after 20 years of being in college. I should have used them in the first few years because they teach you very important skills that you don't forget. One of them is this. How many of you have ever read your paper out loud to yourself? Most of us don't. If you read your paper out loud, you would catch all of your grammar errors right there, because out loud, it sounds absurd. Like, I went to the beach. You're like, oh my gosh, I have two thes in there. It's one of the tactics that they could teach you at the Writing Center. But then there's a whole bunch more. So anyways, they're your friend. Call them. There's the website. Course calendar. All right, now we finally get into like, all right, Joseph's been talking on and on. And by the way, please address me as Joseph or Professor Komrosky or Dr. Komrosky or Dr. K, whatever. But don't call me Mr. Komrosky. Please don't call me Mr. Komrosky. Call me anything else. I don't care if you call me Joseph. I love it. It's my name. Don't call me Mr. When you email me, that's how I want you to start your greeting. Hi, Joseph, or hi, Professor Komrosky, or hi, Dr. Komrosky, whatever you're going to start, right? Don't just say, hey, blah, blah, blah. I've noticed a lot of students throughout my years sending emails and they look rude. It's like, hey, do this for me. No, 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 no. You're at college level now. You have to act professional. And there's a certain email etiquette going on. If you want help, say, hi, Professor Komrosky, I'm struggling with this. Could you please, blah, blah, blah. Don't declare, don't demand, don't be short. You're not texting. You're not in that texting world. You're at college now. And the point of all this is when you do that, a professor is much more willing to help you, or a TA, versus a very crass, short email like, hey, I missed class today. Please send me what I missed. Are you kidding me? You have the syllabus. You know what you missed. So, but if you say, hi, Professor Komrosky, I was really sick today. I can't concentrate. Will you please help me to blah, blah, blah? Of course I will. So that's the difference, okay? It's all in the tone of communication. So anyways, that's email etiquette 101. Course calendar. I make it real easy down at the bottom here. I tell you, hey, week 1, here's the dates. Week 2, here's the dates all the way down to week 6. And I tell you what you're going to do. So I have the same format each week. All your quizzes for that week, pretty much the norm is they're all due on Thursday. You turn them in whenever you want, but the deadline is Thursday night at 11:59 p.m. The very last minute you have, right? So you could do all your quizzes for the whole week on Monday if you want, or Tuesday, but I gave you till Thursday. You regulate your time. And then on Sunday, every week, and these discussion forums are open in the midweek, you have a discussion forum. So every week you have your quizzes due by Sunday, your discussion forum, week 2, 3 quizzes. Why? Because you have 3 chapters. And I make it easier for you. I actually tell you, hey, week 1, you were literally going to read 59 pages out of the Great Conversation book. Here's how many pages per chapter. I really break it down for you each week so that you can schedule, you know, how much reading time you have. Some of these philosophers, very easy to read. Some of them are highly technical, not as easy to read. Let me give you a hint. Aristotle, that will be one of the hardest readings in the semester. I love Aristotle. My own dissertation was on Aristotle's it's called Neo-Aristotelian Virtue Ethics. I'm a virtue ethicist and I love Aristotle's work and I've added to it. So I call it Neo-Aristotle. Anyways, he's a really deep philosopher, but he's technical. I'd say Aquinas a little bit, but some of these other ones, easier reads, but you know. So week to week, you have your quizzes, your Great Conversations, and I'll show you what they look like in the modules in a minute. Week 3, you have your first paper. Week 4, you know, quizzes, conversation. Week 5, quizzes, conversation. Week 6, quizzes, final paper. So you have your quizzes, discussion forums, first paper, final paper. I tell you how to write your papers. So I'll show you in a second. And then you have all the important dates when things are due. Extra credit. So your final exam, which is your final paper, that is due on Friday. I grade those pretty quickly. Saturday, Sunday, all those grades are in. By Sunday night, by 5 o'clock, if you want to do extra credit, you have that option of turning it in. So So anyways, yeah, we'll scroll all the way up now. We've reviewed the syllabus. Now, if you click on modules, I have everything organized for you for every week. Okay. Then I'll show you in a minute how to navigate through this. The very first one, these are if you're new to online and you want to look at some educational videos. Otherwise, skip that. Right there, go to syllabus orientation quiz, welcome activity. I've already showed you these, complete those two, done. If you have a question that you want the whole class to see and me to respond to, you can just put it here and then the whole class will see it. If not, you don't have to do that. And then once you complete these two mandatory assignments, remember they're mandatory. You're dropped from the class if you don't complete them by the date that I've assigned to you for this 6-week course. For this class, it happens to be January 4th, but again, it could be another semester in the summer or the winter with a different date. It's usually the first 2 days of class. You'll know for that specific class, I'll have the dates for you in your own syllabus. But this, again, this video is a general guide because every class is pretty much the same setup. Everything's the same except for dates, okay? So let's go to an example of your first quiz. So, and by the way, the intro for this class video will be here as well. So in each module for the week, I have objectives and goals. This is a neat little summary. Basically, I'm just telling you what I expect of you every week in this class. And then what I do is you'll have your quiz and you'll have your essentials. These are like the highlights that I really want you to know in your reading, but you don't really look at those until after you do your actual reading. So chapter 1, click on chapter 1, and we sit here and we do our reading, okay? Chapter 1 is how many ever pages, Homer. Oh yeah, it's so easy. What is it, 8 pages? So the very first chapter, super easy read, okay? It's fun. And then you click on this, the essentials from the reading. And I do it for every week. Basically, it shows you the highlights, things that are important. So it's chapter 1, essential points. Myth is stories. Hesiod, we're going to talk about the war among the gods. Homer, the moderation is the chief virtue, not too much, not too little. What is hubris? Hubris is an ancient Greek word for arrogance or pride, when you're just cocky, popping off at the mouth, thinking you're all that, modern vernacular. So these are pretty much the chief points of the chapter. And once you have a good understanding of those, you're ready to take the quiz. Click on the quiz. I try to make this section fun here. I already have, so each quiz, you click on it, it's got pictures of, Hesiod when he lived, Homer when he lived. And then basically, I will give you videos per the chapter reading. Some of the videos are me, like right now, like I'm recording, talking to you, going through it. Some of them I don't. I'll pull stuff from online. You don't have to watch these videos in order to complete the quiz. You could simply do the reading and start on your quiz right away. I suggest the reading. I highly suggest watching my videos and all the other videos for every single chapter, because I've looked at all these videos, especially the ones I record, obviously, because it's me talking to you. But they're very good. They give you a broad understanding of what the chapter's talking about, and then sometimes very specific to what I believe is important for you to learn about each individual philosopher within the chapter. So I would do the reading, look at your essentials, look at the videos, then take the quiz. And some of the stuff, obviously, you don't have to watch, but I just think it's really cool and it applies to the class. For example, how many of you have seen that movie, Troy? Brad Pitt's the main actor. It's a mind-blowing movie. It's really awesome. That movie, if you were to see it after you read through this chapter, you'd be like, you'll see actors, you'll see their names, you'll see what role they played, you'll know what hubris is. The movie's awesome. So sometimes there are movies that directly relate to your readings like it has great philosophical insight. The movie does, but plus the movies are fun. Who doesn't like watching movies? Okay, so that's pretty much it. You have 3 chances to take the quizzes. And then I believe I show you the answers. You take your quizzes by Thursday, and I believe the answers for each quiz are available from Friday from early morning to 12 noon. And that's pretty much it. So let's go to the next one. So let's say quiz 2, you go through your essentials, you look at quiz 2 before Socrates, Thales. Interesting with him, he believed that all of water, all of reality was expressible in water. Like he thought water was the fundamental unit of reality. It's like, what? I know, man, but look, people had to start somewhere as far as looking at reality, you know, out in the world, like, what is all this? Where do we come from? What's it all made of? Well, he thought water was the fundamental unit. And you'll see from Thales, some of the other philosophers that contribute behind them saying, bro, I don't think it was water. I think it might have been this. It might have been fire, earth, water, and air. It's like, oh, okay, now we're on to something. So you'll see the evolution of thought here and how philosophy progresses. Again, bunch of philosophers, the dates when they existed, and then videos. Okay. And this is a lot. Some are quick. Some are like 3-4 minute videos, 5, but they're entertaining. Zeno's paradoxes. Oh yes, these are very entertaining. They'll definitely bend your mind. And that's it. You take your quiz. Let's go back out. First week, the great conversation. So I'll pick 2 to 3 philosophers and I'll ask you very straightforward questions that directly come out of the book. Again, I don't want you to try to Google answers. Most likely you're not going to find half of them anyways, but you read the chapter, they're right in there. So let's just see what I asked you in the first great conversation. Chapter 1, describe the gods of Olympus as Homer portrays them. Literally, he is going to portray them a certain way in this book. Give me the answer. Chapter 2, what problem does Democritus' atomism raise for free choice? And then chapter 3, in what sense did early Buddhists claim that all things were impermanent, things that don't last? So I'm taking questions from the 3 chapters you've read that you've done your quizzes on in the first week, and I'm asking you questions from it. And then right here, do you think you yourself are made up of only physical stuff like atoms? Explain. So there's 4 questions right there, right? And then it says, pick one question from above and tell me what you personally think about it. Be critical. So you're going to pick chapter 1, 2, or 3, and you're going to tell me, you've already answered the questions above, but then you're going to tell me, what do you think? Do you think it's horseshit? Do you like it? Again, I want you to start engaging. And how you answer all these. Oh, and then the last part is you have to make one reply to another student. And I think in week 2, sorry, I'll edit this in week 1. I will have one part in here where I say, take the philosopher's toolkit, pick a tool. What was that again? From this free book that you have. And this is what I was telling you in the beginning of the video. You're going to go right here. You're going to scroll down. You're going to pick a tool. There's a bunch. Deduction, invalidity, fallacies, axioms, dialectic, analogies. There's so many of them, right? Pick one that you're interested in. You might have heard about it. Maybe you want to learn about it. They're only a couple pages long. Take one of those and it'll be in here. And I'm going to ask you to apply it to one of your chapter readings. Take one tool that you've learned about and apply it. This is what you're going to do every week by Sunday night. And how am I going to grade you? I actually have a grading rubric. Did you answer the question sufficiently? Did you respond to another student by Sunday night? So this first rubric in the first week, I keep it real light and real easy. By the second week, I add a few more layers on, but each discussion forum has its own rubric. Look at it. And I tell you right here at the top, each answer will require at least 3 to 4 sentences per answer. If you give me 1 line per answer, you're going to lose a lot of points. I want 3 to 4 sentences. Also, to get full credit, provide the page numbers from the book of where you're finding your answers at. This is forcing you to look at the books that I've given you and avoid internet. How will I know? Because you will give me the pages where you got your answers. And I can randomly check those pages and be like, oh, they're just flinging page numbers out, but they're not even in the right chapter. So don't do that. But I'm actually going to look. Did you get the answer from the book? If you did, where's the page number? I'll be able to go look at it. So this is what successful students that want to maintain excellence in my class, this is what you do. 3 to 4 sentences, give me the page number, do your best to answer, respond to another student, done. That's it. Leave it on the field after that, and then move on to the next week, okay? You're gonna get 5 of these, 5 discussion forums. You're gonna get better as you go, okay? So let me look here. Let me see if my week 2. Yeah, so I'll adjust my rubric there because I need to update it and put the Philosopher's Toolkit in it. But oh, let me come back. So here is the week 3. You have your normal quizzes, you have your discussion forum. In week 3, you also have a paper due. Now in this, I tell you, hey, you have to write 1,200 words or about 4 to 5 pages, double space with 12-point font. Click on the video right there. I show you how to write this paper, okay? I show you what to do. But here's the very important thing. You must pick a philosopher from chapters 1 through 7. Don't pick a philosopher outside of our reading. Don't pick a philosopher from chapters 16 through 30. That's a whole separate class. We're only in class, our ancient philosophy class. The other half that book I use for modern philosophy. So in this first paper, you were forced to look only at one philosopher from chapter 1 through chapter 7. And then I tell you, you have 2 broad topics you got to write about, or 2 thesis statements. One possibility is, this is what this philosopher says about the best life, or this is what this philosopher says about the best overall picture of reality. And you'll see what you have to do. And then you're going to tell me why you disagree with them. You're going to give me a counter argument. So again, click on the video. I show you how to do this. That's your first paper, okay? Once again, pick a philosopher from one of these chapters. And then I give you, very detailed whatever. And on top of it, when you scroll down, that is the grading rubric. I show you how I grade your paper and what I'm looking for, okay? So let's go back to the modules. And we're going to go all the way down to the final exam, which is a final paper. That is a paper where on this paper, you can choose chapters 1 through 15, but you cannot use the philosopher that you already wrote about in your first paper. You got to pick somebody else. And in this paper, there's 4 philosophers, 2 that you agree with and 2 that you disagree with. It's a different kind of paper. This paper, the main thesis statement is why I want my children or neighbors' children. Let's say you don't want kids. Okay, well, you got to imagine that your neighbors' children, children that you like, or your nieces and nephews, right? You're thinking kids. And if you have kids or you want kids, the purpose of this paper is think about philosophers that you've read from chapters 1 through 15, pick 2 of them. You want their teachings to be in your kid's life and why. And then 2 philosophers that you definitely don't want in your kid's life and why. And again, I break it all down, exactly what to do. I literally even tell you, look, use these section headings in your paper, all this right here, okay? So, and then I give you the long grading rubric. Again, this is your final exam, so I expect more of you. And right there's a video on how to do all this, okay? So that's pretty much it for your modules and your syllabus. You got 6 weeks. And the last but not least, if you want to turn in extra credit, this is not an assignment, but I allow you to submit in order for you to have extra credit, you have to submit to me a form. And if you have problems submitting the form, you can upload the text, but you have to, again, this video tells you how to do all the extra credit. Or for each extra credit option, you have forms that you click on. For example, let's say you watch this movie, The Man Who Knew Infinity. And you have to answer these questions. You have to at least give me 2 pages at a minimum, 2 to 2.5 pages. Then you upload that form into this extra credit option. If you do the movies, you got to upload 2 forms. If you do the scholar challenge, you got to upload that form. If you do the social challenge or the debater challenge, the debater challenge has 2 forms, the social has 1. But again, you're just uploading it in here so that I could check off whether you did extra credit or not. So that concludes the modules. And again, like I told you in the beginning of the video, the purpose of all this is just to walk you through what I expect of you in this class, which I just did. I'm trying to give you insight on how to become a better student. Don't plagiarize, don't cheat, actually do the readings. There's a reason you took this class. Something inside you had an interest. You're like, yo, what is philosophy? I've heard about Plato and Socrates and Aristotle. Like, so just the fact that you have that wonder, and Aristotle would call the beginning of all philosophy awe. Like, you look out in reality and you're just like, man, this is mind blowing. There's more out there than I'm aware of. So the fact that you had that interest and that curiosity, it should motivate you to do the reading and to understand and do the videos, to, to listen to them and to get deeper. Okay. So this is not superficial stuff. This is a little bit deeper, and that's what philosophy is all about, asking the deeper, heavier questions about reality and yourself. And now if I were to summarize and apply this whole class to your life, why would it be practical? Here's why. The more that you know about yourself and the more that you know about reality, the more you can contribute to the society in which you live as a citizen, okay? The more you know about yourself, the more you know about reality, the better citizen you can become. That's the ultimate aim, is for you to contribute back to society, not you sitting in a house being selfish and I want to be a YouTube millionaire. It's not about that. It's about you achieving excellence in your life and giving back, even though you may become a millionaire along the way. Good luck. And I think that's about it. So what you got to do is just read through the syllabus, take the quiz. Remember, the first couple days you have to complete the quiz and the discussion forum assignments. Get your book. If you can't get the book, go to the library on Monday. Get the reserve. All you do is right in front of the library, ask for Professor Kamrasi's book, The Great Conversation. They got it. Photocopy. That's it. So if you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I look forward to teaching you, and I hope you have a fun semester in my class.